when love becomes a battlefield and time itself becomes the enemy. Only those who dare to defy destiny can survive. Outlander Season 8 isn't just a continuation, it's the reckoning. Every promise, every scar, and every sacrifice made by Jamie and Claire leads to this, the final war of love and time. As the fires of revolution rise and the ghosts of the past return, one truth becomes clear. History doesn't wait for the brokenhearted, and fate shows mercy to no one. The story opens in a world trembling on the edge of transformation. The American Revolution burns hotter than ever, and Jamie Fraser finds himself torn between loyalty and survival. He's no longer just a soldier or a husband. He's a legend trapped in time's web. The echoes of war have followed him for decades, yet this time, they sound different. Louder, closer, more personal. Jamie can feel it in his bones. The final battle is coming, and this time, it's not just for freedom, it's for the soul of his family. Claire stands by his side, her strength quieter, but no less powerful. The healer who once defied centuries to be with the man she loves now faces the impossible once more, saving lives when everything around her bleeds chaos. Her hands tremble, but her heart doesn't. She's seen death, loss, and betrayal, yet she still believes that compassion can heal even the cruelest wounds. Her love for Jamie is no longer just romantic, it's spiritual. It's the kind of love that outlasts empires and outshines despair, but destiny isn't kind to lovers who challenge it. Every choice they make ripples through time, touching lives in ways they can't predict. Brianna and Roger, now parents and protectors, sense the storm building too. Living between two centuries, they carry the burden of knowledge, knowing what history says will happen, yet powerless to stop it. Every night, Brianna wonders if she's done enough to ensure her family's safety, while Roger wrestles with faith. Faith in a plan that seems to demand endless sacrifice. The air feels different now. There's a heaviness in every breath, a silence before the storm. Old allies begin to waver. Enemies grow bolder. The line between past and future starts to blur. Claire begins to see flashes, not visions, but fragments of what's to come. Fire consuming their home. Jamie on the ground, bleeding. A voice she can't recognize whispering her name through the smoke. Is it the past calling, or the future warning her? Jamie, ever the warrior, buries his fear behind duty. His people look to him for leadership, men and women who've already lost too much. But inside, he feels the pull of something deeper, a reckoning with time itself. Every scar, every memory, every ghost from his past stands before him now. He knows that love has always been both his weapon and his weakness. And this time, he might have to choose between protecting Claire or preserving the future of his bloodline. As night falls over the valley, the Frasers prepare for what they know will be their greatest test. The crackling of campfires mixes with whispers of rebellion. The sky bleeds red like the omen of war. Jamie grips his sword not out of anger, but resolve. Claire watches him from across the firelight, knowing that every battle they've survived has led to this one. In that silent moment between them, words are unnecessary. They both understand. The war for freedom is also the war for their love. And when the first cannon fires in the distance, echoing through the mountains, time seems to stop. The past, present, and future collapse into one heartbeat. The final chapter of the Fraser legacy has begun, and not everyone will make it out alive. The dawn breaks, but it brings no peace. Smoke curls across the horizon, and the sound of distant gunfire rolls like thunder. The revolution is no longer a rumor, it's reality. Every path Jamie and Claire walk now bleeds into the war's shadow. Soldiers march, drums echo, and the world begins to crumble beneath the weight of destiny. Jamie knows the battlefield well, its cruelty, its silence after the screams, and the haunting faces that never fade. But this time, the fight feels personal. The war outside mirrors the storm inside him. Claire moves through the wounded with a calm that only years of pain can teach. Her voice, soft yet unyielding, commands order amid chaos. She ties bandages with trembling fingers, stitching together the broken remnants of humanity. Around her, the smell of iron and gunpowder mixes with the scent of hope, faint but alive. She treats soldiers who once would have called her a witch, yet now look at her as a savior. In every dying man, she sees Jamie's face, and it drives her harder. Love keeps her hands steady when reason fails, but whispers spread through the camp, whispers of betrayal. The enemy isn't just across the field. There are spies among them, men who sell secrets for survival. Claire overhears names she's not meant to know. A message intercepted. A familiar crest found on an enemy letter. She brings it to Jamie, her voice urgent. For a moment, the great Highland warrior looks older, not in body, but in spirit. The weight of leadership presses down on him. "We've fought kings, time, and death itself," he says softly, "but treachery cuts deeper than any sword." Meanwhile, Brianna and Roger find themselves in a battle of their own. The tension between past and present tears at them. Their children are growing, asking questions no parent should have to answer. How do you explain that their bloodline exists because of choices made across centuries? How do you teach them to live freely when history itself feels like a cage? Brianna feels the pull of her mother's strength and her father's fire. She dreams of building a world where her family doesn't have to hide from time. But she knows dreams demand sacrifice, and fate demands payment. As the days stretch into nights, the line between survival and surrender blurs. The Frasers' camp becomes a flickering beacon amid darkness. Old allies arrive, some bearing news, others bringing ghosts of the past. Claire meets an old acquaintance, a man thought dead, who speaks of a hidden plan that could change the war's outcome. But his presence stirs something unease in Jamie. He's learned that nothing returns from the grave without reason. Then, in one fateful night, the prophecy Claire once dismissed begins to take shape. The vision she saw, fire, blood, and a familiar voice, starts to unfold. Their home, once a sanctuary, is attacked under the cover of night. Flames devour the walls that once echoed with laughter. Claire grabs what she can, her medical bag, family mementos, while Jamie rallies the men. The fire isn't just destroying their home, it's erasing their history. Amid the chaos, Jamie finds himself face to face with a figure from his past, a man whose hatred never died. The confrontation is brutal. Words are useless. Blades flash and blood marks the earth. Claire's scream cuts through the night, but she can't reach him. For a moment, it feels like time has stopped again, just as it did when she first left him centuries ago. But Jamie survives, though barely. His wounds run deep, both in flesh and soul. As the fire dies, ashes fall like snow, and the Frasers realize that nothing will ever be the same again. Yet, even in ruin, they endure. Claire presses her hands over Jamie's wounds, whispering promises not to fate, but to love itself. "We've crossed time," she says through tears. "We can cross this too." The look in Jamie's eyes tells her what words cannot. He believes her, because he always has. Because love, to them, was never just a feeling. It was their rebellion against the impossible. The next morning, the world feels quiet. Too quiet. But underneath the silence, history still stirs. And as Jamie and Claire stand among the ashes, they both sense it. The war isn't over. The final reckoning has only just begun. The wind carries the scent of smoke and iron. It howls across the highlands like a memory refusing to die. The war has arrived in full force, not a distant thunder anymore, but a storm crashing at the Fraser family's door. Jamie stands at the center of it, his face hardened, eyes set on the horizon where the enemy banners rise. He has fought many battles, but this one feels different. This time, he fights not for land, not for kings, but for love, for legacy, for the promise he made to Claire beneath the ruins of time itself. Claire watches him from a distance, her heart torn between fear and faith. Every time Jamie walks away to fight, she feels the ache of centuries pressing on her chest. She's lost him once before, to war, to death, to time, and she knows the pain of watching him fade into history. Yet, this time, something in her refuses to break. She stands ready, her hands steady, her spirit unyielding. If fate intends to take Jamie, it will have to go through her first. Brianna and Roger arrive at the encampment, their children in tow. They've crossed through time once more, knowing the danger, knowing the cost, but unwilling to stay behind as history closes in on their family. Brianna's eyes mirror her father's fire. Roger's faith holds the same calm as Claire's. Together, they represent the impossible, the bridge between two worlds, between the ancient and the modern. Their arrival renews Jamie's strength, even as the shadows of war grow darker around them. The final battle unfolds not in one grand clash, but in moments, silent, brutal, and human. The thunder of muskets echoes through the valley, mingling with cries of both victory and loss. Jamie leads his men with the strength of a legend. He fights like a man who has nothing left to prove, but everything left to protect. Every swing of his sword feels like a heartbeat, every step forward a promise to the woman waiting for him. Claire moves among the wounded, her voice the only calm in a world consumed by chaos. She saves lives in the very place death reigns supreme. Her white sleeves, once clean, now stained crimson, not as a sign of defeat, but of defiance. Each life she saves is an act of rebellion against the cruelty of fate. When a cannon blast tears through the line, she doesn't flinch. She rushes to where Jamie falls, dust and blood clouding her vision. The world narrows to one sound, his heartbeat, faint but still there. She calls his name, once, twice, and he opens his eyes. Even on the edge of death, Jamie's first words are of her. "You're still here," he breathes, his voice breaking. "You always are." Claire's tears mix with ash and blood. She presses her forehead to his and whispers, "Always, my love. Across time, across death, always." It's not a farewell. It's a vow. Around them, the battle rages, but the tide begins to turn. Roger rallies the men, his calm faith turning chaos into order. Brianna fires her rifle, defending those who can no longer fight. For the first time, past and future fight side by side, bound by blood, by purpose, by an unshakable belief that love is stronger than time. The enemy falls back. The smoke clears. But victory comes with a cost. As the sun sets over the battlefield, silence replaces the roar of war. The Frasers stand together, battered but unbroken. Their home is gone, their friends lost, but their spirit remains, an unextinguished flame in the darkness. Jamie, still wounded, looks out over the land that cost him everything and smiles faintly. "This is our legacy," he says. Claire takes his hand, her voice soft but certain. "No," she answers, "we are." In the final moments, the camera lingers on them, not as heroes, but as humans who refuse to surrender to time. The war may have ended, but their story lives beyond it. The echo of their love stretches across centuries, whispered in every wind that touches the highlands, remembered in every heart that believes in forever. Because in the end, Outlander Season 8 is not about death or destiny. It's about love that defied history itself. Love that outlasted war, distance, and even time. Jamie and Claire's journey doesn't end here. It transforms. It becomes legend. It becomes eternal. And as the screen fades to black, a single voice remains, Claire's, whispering through the ages. Even when the world forgets us, love remembers.